at 6:06 p.m. Welcome everyone to tonight's council meeting. I'm the Mayor, Councillor Ranka Rustic. I declare this meeting open at 6:06. I would like to welcome the members of the public who have joined us in the chamber tonight. Members of the public attending council and committee meetings are expected to behave respectfully at all times and not permitted to engage with the councillors or council officers during the course of the meeting. This includes direct, loud and inappropriate comments towards councillor and officers, or making noise that impacts council ability to conduct its meeting. All persons present tonight have a right to be safe and treated with respect. Council will not tolerate any behaviour that threatens the safety of anyone present in the chamber, or which disrupts the ability of council to conduct its business on behalf of the community. You'll be asked to leave the meeting if behaviour is inappropriate, disruptive or rude. Due to ongoing disruption experienced at the council meetings, all members of the gallery are required to pre-register their attendance at the council meetings to support continuous efforts to maintain a safe and secure environment for all participants, whilst allowing council to conduct an ordinary meeting. In the unlikely event of an emergency, please follow the directions of council officers and the emergency procedures on the wall near the doors. I would like to note I have given approval for Channel 31 to live stream this meeting. A recording of the meeting will be published on Council's website. I note that in accordance with the conduct during election period policy, the only item to be considered at this meeting will be the annual report. Other standard agenda items such as public question time are also suspended during the election period. Item 1, please stand for acknowledgement of country. On behalf of Brimbank City Council, I respectfully acknowledge and recognise the Wurundjeri and Bunurong people as traditional custodians of this land and pay respect to their elders past, present and future. I ask councillors to remain standing for the council commitment. Others may be seated. As the council, we will act in the best interest of the Brimbank community and consider the immediate and long-term impacts of our decisions. We will make our decisions fairly and without bias. We will uphold all of our obligations under the laws of Victoria and council's local laws, and we will act in accordance with our code of conduct. Please be seated. Item 3, apologies. Councillor Kerr has submitted an apology for this meeting. Item 4, disclosure of conflict of interest. Are there any declarations of conflict of interest for tonight, councillors? Yes, Councillor Riley.
Madam Mayor, I would like to declare a general conflict of interest with item 6.1 due to connections to employment.
Thank you. Anyone else, councillors? No. Item 5, designation of items as confidential. There are no items designated as confidential this evening. I'm going to go to item 6, which is officer report. We'll just wait for Thomas to leave the room. We're ready to go. There is one officer report for consideration by council tonight. If you have alternate or amended motion this evening, you must draft this motion and provide to governance team by email so that they may be shared on screen and form part of meeting. Otherwise, we may have to defer the meeting until the motion has been written, allowing the meeting to proceed uninterrupted. 6.1, Brimbank City Council Annual Report 2023-2024. Ms Hill, thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Each local government is required to prepare an annual report by the 31st of October each year. The annual report has been prepared to comply with the Local Government Act 2020. The annual report provides information on our strategic, operational, and financial performance from the year the 1st of July 2023 to the 30th of June 2024. This is a special report that can be accepted during the caretaker period. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Are there any questions for the Director? Yes, Councillor Lancashire.
I'm glad you could still remember my name. Yes, look, just a quick question. I was, of course, we're all very excited and pleased to see the name of Yellowbarring for the what was Sydenham Park and that. My question relates to the boom gate that's gone in. We've spent a lot of money on building a children's playground and fixing that part of the northern end of the park up, but we have a boom gate, which means you're several hundred metres away from it where you'd have to stop, and there's no car park at where you stop. Do we have a plan to make sure that's available to the public or open? Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the Mayor, I'll try and give a response to the question. The project that was approved by Council at Yellowbarring Park was to put in a walking path. That path has been put in. There's also a picnic area at the end of that path. That was intended as a walking access to that area. The broader master plan for the precinct does consider additional paths and could consider things like car parks, but that wasn't part of the initial project that Council approved. So there is a car park at the golf course there. It's necessary for us to have a boom gate to prevent vehicle access because the roads beyond that aren't for public access. So that's the purpose for the boom gate.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Do I have a move of this motion, councillors? Councillor Borg?
I'll move the motion as per business papers.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Yes, Councillor Papalia.
I'll second the motion, thank you.
Councillor Borg, would you like to speak to this motion?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This comprehensive report provides us with information regarding what Council has achieved these last 12 months, as well as financial and performance statements. Pleased to say that 93% of the 109 actions outlined in the We Are Brimbank document have been completed. Those that have not been completed was because of supply chain issues and delays in obtaining approvals from external authorities. One of the Council's priorities over the past 12 months was engaging with the community. This is highly reflected in the Community Satisfactory Survey, which indicated an increase from 55 in 2023 to 74 in 2024, which seems to be quite a significant increase. This report includes a number of highlights. I'm only going to mention one highlight that relates to mental health. Council collaborated with CoHealth and IPC Health to establishing a new local mental health services and to develop social prescribing programs to support people presenting to their services with poor mental health. Mental health is one of Council's top priorities, and I hope the incoming Council will continue to maintain this top priority if we want to continue to thrive. Besides mental health and well-being, this report includes the various challenges that have been and still are that Council is facing, including housing affordability, education and skills gap, financial sustainability, and environmental sustainability and climate emergency. I believe that Council will continue to deal with these challenges with innovation and determination, as stated by the CEO in her message in this report. And I would like to take this opportunity, if I may, Madam Mayor, to thank the Mayor all the executive team and all the staff members for all the hard work that they have done throughout the year. I would also like to take the opportunity to thank the community that came on the journey with us throughout not only this last financial year, but also these last 4 years. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Councillor Borg. Councillor Papalia, would you like to speak to this report?
Thank you. Just to add, it's a great way to wrap up our term. I'm very proud of the work that this council has achieved and would also like to extend my thank you to the executive team and all that were involved in this project. For me, the highlight was the community survey results. The improvement there was outstanding, I would say, and it's quite something that we should all be proud of. I didn't think that we would be able to achieve that in this short time that we have. So thanks to all that are involved. Thanks.
Thank you, councillors. Would anyone else like to speak to this report? Councillor Lancashire.
Look, I'd certainly like to echo the words that have been said in relation to this report. It does sum up certainly for this year, and of course for all of us for the 4 years. 4 years, and for some of us, 8 years. And certainly, I think the work that's been done in renaming Sydenham Park to Yellowburring is something we can be all proud of. Giving our largest park an Aboriginal name that was chosen by the local elders is fantastic. The construction of that terrific playground with the skink. Making the shearing shed that's there, and I'm only aware of 2 shearing sheds in the municipality. One of them's in a completely run-down state, but to make that waterproof and protected from the elements, to commence work on Robinson's homestead as chair of the Heritage Committee, are all things that we can and should be very proud of. I've already flagged that I'm post-council. I'll certainly have an interest in getting that park open. I think to stop people, if you're in the Model Aircraft Club, you can go into the park and park, but if you're the rest of the community, you can't. So there's some work to do for the new councillors, incoming councillors, whoever they may be. But we've certainly got a lot to be very proud of over our time. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak to this report, councillors? No, if not, I'll put report to vote. All in favour, please raise your hands. It's carried. I would like to say a few words now when Thomas is here as well, and all our officers and CEO. And I want to start by thanking amazing CEO Fiona, who has brought with her a world of knowledge to our organisation, our directors who are full of experience and dedicated to Brimbank. A big thank you to our council support staff and employees right across our organisation who do an excellent job at making Brimbank a beautiful place. A special thank you to Laura, who I think is the best executive assistant in the world. She has done an amazing job in supporting me in my role. It's hard to believe that our term here is up. Over the last 4 years, our council has achieved an immense amount of outcomes for our community. Whether it be campaigning for the airport rail or fixing the Calder, we have taken our advocacy from Melbourne to Canberra and made it very clear that Brimbank deserves the very best. As per tonight's report, our record speaks for itself. But of course, there is always more that must be done. Unfortunately, there have been some tough times throughout this term as well. Times where inappropriate and unnecessary behaviour has sought to destabilise council and the very reason we were elected to do, represent our community and their interests. With that said, I want to say a big thank you to our 2 monitors, Janet and Penny. Both Janet and Penny have done an outstanding job at ensuring that councillors understand their roles, obligations, and responsibilities as councillors, as well as promoting good governance and behaviour throughout the organisation. Thank you to my deputy, Councillor Jay Papalia, who has been an excellent deputy mayor over the past year. On a final note, I wish to thank my children, Uroshananya, and my family and friends who have supported me right from the day one. It will be hard to imagine where I would be without these important support networks. I wish all of our staff and councillors all the very best in future, whether that be back here or starting a new chapter in your lives. Thank you all. We're going to go to item 7, urgent business. Ms. Blair, is there any urgent business for tonight?
There's no urgent business.
Thank you. Item 8, confidential business. There are no items of confidential business this evening. Item 9, meeting closes. Yes, Councillor Lancashire.
I just have a question as to whether we will be suspending standing orders to allow people to make a thank you if they so wish.
We can do that before closure of the meeting.
Thank you.
Who would like to start? Yes, Councillor. Thank you.
I just move a motion to suspend standing orders.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Yeah, thank you. Would you like to start, Councillor Lancashire?
If we can vote on that.
All in favour, please raise your hands. It's carried.
I will start, thank you. Just to simply, I've already said my little bit actually during the last report, which summed up the enormous amount of work that the staff have done and this council has done. And of course, we have councillors making all those decisions. Over 8 years, we've seen incredible things like the Bork facility, which is truly amazing and a financial success. In my own particular little back patch of interest, of course, we took back the contract for the golf course. That's now a tremendous asset and making money for the council, covering our costs and things like that. So there's been opening up of the park and, as I said, some items of heritage interest that I have a particular interest in, which I've already mentioned. So again, I'd like to say that it has been an absolute honour and privilege to serve the community. It has been exciting, particularly during the mayoral year, and I'd like to congratulate all the mayors that have been over these 4 years. Having had a term, the amount of work that was involved was just staggering. It was a 7-day-a-week, sometimes 7 nights a week job. But I enjoyed it. I took the job on to give it a red hot go and participated in as many things as I could. And I've seen, while the mayor gets the limelight, I saw turning up to function after function after function, councillors and that. Again, congratulations to those councillors who have put in all that work over all that time. So thank you very much. And that's my comments.
Thank you. I think I just wanted to wrap it up, so that's why I was rushing it. Thanks, Councillor Lancashire. Yes, Councillor Tarkos.
Thank you. I just wanted to say a few words as the second term for me draws to a close. Firstly, to thank all the officers who have supported me and the councillors and provided valuable guidance for understanding evidence-based policy and advocacy, the monitors for their important guidance and clarity. I'd like to pay particular thanks to the people in councillor support team who have been a tremendous support to me, and I know other councillors, and that's Tony Vo, Jess, Nat and Liz. What an awesome group of people that have made our lives easier and so much more seamless. To all the mayors and deputy mayors, I thank you for your immense service and hard. We've had a lot of challenges, but I really appreciate all that you've done and all the hours that you've put in. My councillor colleagues for supporting and challenging me. The robust debate in the chamber is something that I support, but I believe that all the community supports to see us do at grassroots level. People love to see us out there in the community. And finally, to my community, as your councillor, I hope for the last 4 years I've managed to provide you with support, representation, and a voice on council, and highlight issues that matter to you, and help guide this council strategically to provide great facilities, important services that help our community. Thank you.
Anyone else, councillors? Yes, Councillor Brenton.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all of the officers, the directors, and the CEO for two matters, for two things in particular. One is I think I've got one of the best educations that I could possibly get in the last 4 years. The amount of training, the amount of briefings with a very detailed research that goes into it. I've loved every bit of that, and I learned more in the last 4 years, I think, than I did in my degree. The amount of information that we're given, the huge amount of research that goes into presented to us to be able to make decisions has been the absolute highlight of this work for me. The second thing that I want to thank, especially the executive team and the CEO, is the incredible emotional support, emotional intelligence that Brimbank has shown me. And it makes me really glad to be living in Brimbank because that emotional intelligence is there and that very real commitment to mental health. I was diagnosed as bipolar in our first year as counsellors. I've been on mood stabilisers and I've been off them. And the whole time, I don't think I ever met someone who works at Brimbank who gave me a funny look or looked down at me or spoke to me like I didn't understand. The staff here, the CEO, all of the directors have always been an absolute joy to work with, and I'm going to really miss that. I'm so grateful for the last 4 years working with you all, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone else, councillors? Yes, Councillor Borg, and then Councillor David.
Thank you. I would also like to take this opportunity, first of all, to thank the CEO again and the
Executive team. Yeah.
the executive team and all the staff that worked so hard to give us all the information that required, evidence-based, highly professional in so many ways. Thank you also to all the support team. I know Virginia managed to mention them all, but you know who you are. And we really appreciate all your support, and you go so much out of your way to help us as councillors and make life a little bit easier for us. Thanks also goes to the community who have been with us on this journey as I served and we served as a council throughout during these last four years. I feel very privileged and honored to have served the community for a second term, and for this I thank the Brimbank community, more specifically the Older Grasslands Ward residents who put their trust in me by entrusting me with their vote. So big thank you. And again, I achieved a lot in my life, but serving the community is the cherry on the cake, so to speak. So thank you, everyone, and I wish the incoming council all the very best. Thank you.
Councillor David.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, can see 3 councillors won't be with the next council. I understood what Councillor Brando said, and I feel for you all the way through. To you, Madam Mayor, the fellow councillors, yes, thank you all for supporting each other. We had a bit of a hiccup later on last year, perhaps, but yes, we got it right, and that is thanks also to the 2 monitors here, Penny and Johnny. They've done very, very well with us. Of course, the officers, the CEO, the directors and officers are good friends for the council of support. They've done a tremendous job. Very, very nice people, very helpful, and well done all. And of course, we spoke about the annual report, wonderful report, Madam CEO, and indeed that's the story for the last year. And it taken to time when councillors did participate with officers to make it happen. Thank you all. Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor David.
Before I finish,
Yep.
please, I acknowledge the presence of former Mayor, Councillor Judichek here tonight.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else, councillors, before we wrap up? No? Yes, Councillor Nguyen.
We all have a parting to say. Okay. Well, I think first of all, I just want to say thank you to our staff, our executive, and especially our CEO and also council support. Like, you have my everlasting gratefulness for all the guidance and the advice that you provided, and just helping us perform in our role as councillors, as well as the monitors for their guidance as well, and also the chats and debates with my fellow councillors about the vision that we want to see for our community in Brimbank. And like, for me, I love working with people. I love working for people, but I also learned for the 4 years that it can be hard working with people because there's so many different priorities and wants and desires. But what I love about our Brimbank community is that we all just want Brimbank to be better. And I really want to express my utmost gratitude to the Brimbank community for giving, diverse people a chance to represent you on the council. And it's my biggest privilege and honour to serve you for these past 4 years as my first time as a Vietnamese Australian councillor, as a mayor, and also express gratitude to Councillor Tui Dang, who was definitely there with me in the second year, having the first time 2 Vietnamese Australians in such roles. And over the 4 years, we have achieved so much. Like, I remember when we were going, is it possible to upgrade the train stations, to now being a commitment of a master plan, the opening of the aquatic centre, the making strides in multiculturalism in terms of the Vietnamese Museum of Australia, and also, like, for me, importantly, giving more opportunities for the young people of Brimbank, our future. Like, we introduced the youth grants as a category for the first time in this term. And I just really want to say thank you to my friends and my family as well. And because without everybody here, I wouldn't be in this role today. So I wish everyone here all the best in their future endeavours, whether they be on council, not on council, or as a staff member or whatnot. But thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else, councillors? Yes, Councillor Dang.
I think all the councillor had spoken it all, but I would like to say thank you to the CEO, the executive team, and especially the council support team. Without them, I couldn't do anything. Also, as Councillor Brendan had said, I really enjoy in my term, and I learned a lot. And I had the chance to work with the diverse communities. I have learned a lot from the traditional, the food, the culture. It enriched me with empathy, a lot of things that I learned from the communities. So, and at last, and my last word is thank you to all the councillors who have worked so well in the 4 weeks, in the 4 years, for the communities, and I wish all you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Riley.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd like to thank the CEO, the executive team, councillor support, councillor officers and monitors for all they've been doing. It's been an honour and privilege to have been here for the past half a term. Thank you. And my
Thank you.
councillor colleagues too. Thank you.
Councillor Papalia, you only one left, so might as well.
I guess that leaves me. What a journey, I guess. The last 4 years have been such an amazing experience. There's definitely been highs and lows, but I think overall the experience has been something that I'll never forget. Thank you to everyone that's already been thanked. Like, we couldn't do this role without you guys. And I've have a newfound appreciation for local government and government in general. I think before coming into this role, I was very naive, and I had a high expectation of what government did, and I think blindly just thought everything would just click together. And I think the comprehensive reports that we have received and the presentations that we've had, I really didn't realize just how much that went into that, and the level of expertise and skill that's hired to perform these roles. I think I was really naive to that. So I found a newfound appreciation for local government, and it will always be something that I remember and cherish. So thanks to all. That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Do I have a mover to resume the meeting? Yes, Councillor Papalia.
I move to resume the meeting. Thanks.
Seconder, yes. Councillor Newman.
Move to second that motion.
All in favour, please raise your hands. It's carried. We're going to go to item 9, which is meeting closure. So thank you all for attending and for your interest in tonight's meeting. I declare this meeting closed at 6:37 p.m. Instruct Channel 31 to stop live streaming this meeting. Thank you all.